All right, let's move on. New pilot DEI stuff at United Airlines. So this has been going on for a while, but this information just came out. Yeah. And it's very important stuff.
So United was the first airline to say that they wanted to have like up to 50% of their new pilots be women or people of color. We've showed this before on the show, the end of the all-white male cockpit. And basically, United had a new class, and their goal was 50%. And in 2022, we welcomed 200 students to the academy and celebrated the graduation of our inaugural class of pilots that includes 51 students, with nearly 80% being women or people of color.
So the goal was 50% women or people of color, and then once they put it into action, the graduating class was 80% women or people of color.
So they're shattering their own goals, and that was for a United flight school that United owns.
And do we think these people are qualified, or do you think United is trying to push an agenda at the cost of their consumers and the safety of the people on the planes?
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny. There was a text from a pilot. It was going around on Twitter that kind of summed it all up. Can you read it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me actually look at the context. This is from Peachy Keenan, getting DMs from Pilot World confirming that things are bad, but this one is really scary. And it says, every airline has an informal pilot assignment program that makes sure their unfireable DEI problem children are always paired with adult supervision. These programs are maintained by aging boomers who are immune to the Kool-Aid. As those guys retire and their numbers drop too low to stop the true blue DEI believers, every flight will be a roll of the dice, and eventually there will be one with 2 defective DEI pilots in the cockpit. Pray for the people on that flight. They're going to need it.
Very interesting. So they're kind of like stuffing them with the boomers?
Yeah, like every random newcomer who was DEI hired is put with like a former Air Force veteran with 4,000 flying hours, or even more.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I was thinking maybe some advice to some airlines out there. Like, okay, yeah, so I have an idea that kind of would work for the existing airlines. Okay. Anyone who wants to have a reverse Bud Light experience for the next 5 or so years, you come out and say, hey, we're XYZ Airlines, and we hire and employ the most veterans of any other airline.
Ooh.
And then you hear that and you go, ooh, I'm going to fly that airline only forever because I know it's safe and they actually have standards. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, it's like a little chirp to us.
Yeah.
It's a chirp to your boys that only like the right wing can hear. So you put this out there in the universe. It seems innocent and whatever, but it's like a secret sound only the right wing can hear. And we'll go, ooh, you're not doing DEI. You're one of ours. We're going to fly with you.
Yeah, like what are those whistles that dogs can hear? Or
like the high-pitched whistle only a dog can hear.
Yeah, and
it's like a dog whistle. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's exactly like that.
No, that would be a boom. A boon. I think United is in trouble. Like I have a credit card for United and like I have status at United and I'm trending away from that. And this is the class of 2022, these pilots that they're talking about. So it's like they're in the process now.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the pipeline. And like they said, they're probably stuck with some former U.S. Air Force guy who flew missions in Iraq, and thankfully there's adult supervision, as they put it, right now.
Yeah, exactly. So the United, it's time to short United.
Kind of.
Because United isn't really accounting for the skills that matter when flying an airplane, like IQ.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to United.
Of course.
But there are times when IQ does matter. Mm-hmm. So it's like IQ does matter when you're a woman at the sperm bank and you want to pick a sperm donor for the baby you want to have.
Yeah. And that's the thing we were discussing before the show aired is like leftists sometimes use IQ and sometimes don't.
Yeah.
And so sperm bank, all of a sudden IQ matters, right?
Exactly. Or if you're trying to get a criminal off and not charged.
Yeah, when it comes to
his IQ's too low.
Yeah,
he's not a real person.
Exactly. When it comes time to sentence the violent criminal, all of a sudden IQ matters, right?
Or even like looking into the distribution of certain groups, like Joe Biden's cabinet. Mm-hmm. I think it's 50% Jewish people.
Yeah, that's because of IQ.
They're so smart. The IQ's so good.
And you can say it then.
Okay. But then IQ doesn't matter, I guess, when, I don't know, you're manufacturing an airplane?
Yeah, Boeing. When you're on the assembly line, IQ doesn't matter then. It's just DEI. Just hire whoever, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Or when people come to the border?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, Guinea, come on in.
It's all the same. They just want a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we actually have a clip of the manufacturing team from Boeing, and is this Boeing?
I think this is a different company that Boeing uses.
Yeah.
Spirit Aerospace or something like that. I can't exactly see it. So they're doing a corny like TikTok. Here's the thing. They always do a corny TikTok where they're showing you exactly what's happening, and it's kind of like a gloat. And here they are. It's all these women, all these 5'5" women.
And they're the engineering team.
Oh, yeah. Good for them.
Great.
Let's go, girls, it says.
Yeah. So that's who's building the airplanes. The airplanes are getting blown out. There was a update to the Boeing's.
Yeah, this was from James Lindsay about Boeing and how they're implementing DEI. And basically, Boeing's corporate filings with SEC reveal that in the beginning of 2022, the annual bonus plan to reward CEO and executives for increasing profit for shareholders and prioritizing safety was changed to reward them if they hit DEI targets, which is crazy.
So it goes from performance and how the company's doing and how much money it's making and how efficient everything is, and it gets changed to now DEI. If you hit your DEI goals, all the executives get their bonuses.
And you know how easy it is to like, oh man, I can pull this lever, like, oh, if the company's profitable X amount, then we all get big bonuses. It's like that's macroeconomic factors. That's a bunch of different factors, like the interest rate, everything like that. But to hit your DEI targets, all you got to do is go cha-ching, pull the lever and hire a bunch of semi-qualified individuals. And, I'm hitting my bonus tonight.
And they're really squeezing the people at the top where it's like you're making a few selfish people go, oh, is this easy to make sure we get all of our bonuses? Mm-hmm. What are you going to not do it?
And also what's upsetting about this, too, in terms of like the broad scheme of America, right? Like DEI obviously is worthless for an airplane company, right? Mm-hmm. America's GDP is like 10% software, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just, people clicking on a computer, people in Facebook, people in Silicon Valley, blah, 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 right? And then we have this whole other section of our economy that's like financial, right? New York, people trading bonds back and forth, financial planning, pensions, 401ks, blah, 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 right? And then Boeing is like one of the only companies that we actually have that's a defense contractor actually building giant airplanes in Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. And then, let's chop away at this one until we got a mix of racial and women in here. Just because, like, we can, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of the few things we actually make, and that shit pisses me off.
And Nikki Haley's on the board of Boeing.
So Nikki Haley did it.
She did it. Doesn't it make sense? She's always talking about being a woman.
She said being a woman, vaccinated and shit, trans kids. She's always talking about that shit.
Yeah. So she did this. Thanks, Nikki. Mm-hmm. There's also an Alaska Airlines video that was going pretty viral. This is what they're up to.
Gay. 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 When I said gay, you said gay. 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 When I said gay, you said gay.
It's not even good content. When I say gay, you say gay. Ready to go fly the airplane?
He didn't even get that right. It's like when I say red, you say blue. Red, blue. Yeah. There's an opposite. They're just saying gay a bunch of times. And you know what? I will say this. Flight attendants have always been gay. Mm-hmm. Or for a long time.
Of course.
But the front of the plane was all these military guys with 130 IQs, and the back of the plane was a couple twinks. It was no big deal.
That's a good point.
But now they want to get the twinks in the front. And they want to get the weird minorities or whatever.
They want to get the twinks in the front of the plane.
I know.
And the women.
And that door locks, Those military guys, they go, all right, thanks, Jeff. And they lock the door. And they have a mustache.
That's so true.
And now the twinks yelling gay in the terminal.
What's going to happen when a terrorist takes the plane over and there's no capable men to fight it off? There's a terrorist in the cockpit. And the guy's going to go, ooh, cockpit, yeah.
I know.
He's like, his mind in the gutter.
Oh, yeah, disgusting.
Or you just entered the cockpit.
No.
They're going to be like, ugh. Yeah, and then also on top of this, they're going to make this so bad, flying is going to be so bad that they're going to say, oh, AI needs to fly the planes now.
Well, that's kind of where we are. Thankfully, the time where we're doing this, the plane basically flies itself, but the troubleshooting and like the issues, it's like the issue that can be like, oh, the sensor's off. The sensor needs to be turned on and off. And then a military guy who literally has flown over Fallujah goes, okay, no big deal. Somebody else is like, what? It's beeping at me. Like, this is my first time. This didn't happen in the simulator.
Yeah, so it's going to get bad. And then when the AI needs to take over, it gives us more vulnerabilities to Terminators.
All right, it all comes back to Terminator.
Well,
smart.